Most people think avoiding crowds is antisocial, but for millions, it is a matter of survival. Loud chatter, random touches, even faces in a crowd can trigger a brain crash called sensory overload. Studies reveal we underestimate emotions in crowds by 15%, missing vital cues, all while the world grows louder and more unpredictable. So why does a packed space feel so unbearable for some? And what is really happening inside their brains? A crowded train station at rush hour presses in from every direction. Footsteps echo off tile, voices stack into a wall of sound, and the sharp blare of an announcement cuts through the blur. Every sense is on high alert. Shoulders brush past, perfume mingles with hot food, a suitcase wheel catches a heel. The brain tries to sort what matters and what doesn't, but the filter starts to slip. Ordinary sounds merge into a single, relentless current. Each new jolt, another bump, another shout adds weight. The mind scrambles to keep up, but details blur, thoughts fragment, and the world shrinks to raw sensation. This is filter overload, the brain's gatekeeper overwhelmed, unable to block out the flood. For some, it's not just discomfort, it's a system crash, where the only relief comes from escape or sudden quiet. In that hush, the nervous system finally exhales. About 15% of people consistently underestimate the emotions on faces in a crowd. This is not a flaw, it is the brain's way of turning down the volume on a noisy world. When sensory information floods in from every direction, the mind relies on a kind of filter to decide what gets through and what fades into the background. In crowded places, that filter is pushed to its limit. A clinician explains, when multiple senses flood at once, the brain struggles to filter. It is not about disliking people, it is about protecting your system from overload. Recent studies in perception show this bias in action. People in dense crowds suppress emotional cues. This is a protective move that helps them cope, but it also means they miss important details. These findings connect to ongoing research in sensory processing and cognitive science. A packed mall on a Saturday afternoon can flip the body's switch in an instant. For protagonist B, it starts with a sudden shout from the food court, a stroller clipping the back of an ankle, and the scent of fresh pretzels mixing with perfume. Heart rate jumps, palms sweat. The mind races for an exit, not because of fear, but because the body's own alarm has sounded. This is the vagal brake in action, a built-in safety system meant to keep stress in check. When a surprise hits, the brake releases and the body floods with stress hormones. It is like a foot lifting off a pedal. Everything speeds up. Scientists call this a real-time cortisol surge. The chest tightens, the world narrows, and the urge to flee grows stronger. In these moments, panic is not a character flaw. It is the nervous system doing its job, reacting to unpredictability as if it is danger and begging for relief. A clinical neuropsychologist sits in a quiet office and explains that sensory overload, unpredictability, and evaluation all raise physiological arousal through the nervous system. For some, this is not a preference, it is a measurable stress response. When the brain's filter is overwhelmed by sound, movement, and unpredictability, cortisol, the body's stress hormone, rises. The heart pounds, palms sweat, and thinking narrows. This built-in alarm is meant to protect from overload. It is not about being unfriendly or avoiding people. For those with sensory sensitivity or neurodivergence, these reactions are even more pronounced, but everyone has limits. An advocate's voice cuts through. This is about sensory regulation, not shyness. Their words echo a growing movement that asks for understanding, not judgment. The science is clear. Crowd avoidance is a form of self-regulation, not rudeness. When people step away from the noise, they are giving their nervous system space to recover, not rejecting connection. In the heart of a crowded bar, the protagonist scans the room, every glance met with the glow of a phone camera or the expectation of quick conversation. The mind slips into a kind of alertness, tracking who is watching, what is being recorded, whether a gesture will be misread or a moment captured. Psychologists call this social evaluative threat, the sense that every move is being judged even by strangers. Each second spent under the gaze of others draws on mental reserves, leaving thinking slow and speech clumsy. A clinician explains that being watched or expected to chat means extra cognitive work. Your brain runs in protective mode. In today's world, vigilance is not just about noise or crowds. It is the constant awareness that you are on display, and the cost is real. 5 phrases ready for the next crowded moment. I'll join for an hour, but I may need to step out. I take the early train. It's quieter for me. I'll come for the first part, then head home. Small groups work better. Can we split up? I need to protect my energy tonight. Let's keep it low-key. The exit plan. Know your quiet spot, set a check-in time, tell a friend. One gentle line for hosts and venues. Small shifts, off-peak hours, clear signs, easy exits. Make spaces welcoming for everyone. In a world growing louder and more crowded, regulating your senses isn't avoidance, it's resilience. Protecting your peace is a valid response to a culture that rarely grants it. Thanks for watching.